Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos I've been putting out. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup while I review a book. And this book is none other than Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad. So basically, I read this book earlier this year and I've been obsessed. When I tell you people I've been obsessed, I have been obsessed with this book. I feel the writing was amazing. If you've never read the book, it is a compilation of 12 short stories, if I'm not mistaken, and it's just beautiful. So I'm just going to be talking about it while I do my makeup. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do my brows because they do take quite a lot of time and I do not want to be wasting time, and I need to concentrate when I do my brows. So yeah, okay, so let's start from the beginning because what else are we going to start? I'm going to be mixing these two foundations. This is the Zikel Pro Mate foundation and this is the Fit Me by Maybelline. Just mixing at the back of my palm. So basically, this particular book was, I think I saw it everywhere on social media. Like, the first person I saw recommend it was Dimma Ome, and if you don't know who Dimma is, are you living under a rock? But she's one of my favorite Nigerian YouTubers. Which one? She's definitely my favorite. She's my favorite Nigerian YouTuber, and yeah, she was recommending it with, I think it was her and Jola. So there were two books that they recommended in that particular video. I'm not sure if it's the video or her Instagram, but I know there was a video she did with Jola where they were talking about books they read, and Lessons in Chemistry was one, which was an amazing read. And I'm not sure, but I think, yeah, but I know it was from Dimma I first heard about the book. And God, I didn't read it immediately, but when I did, Lord, when I did. So the first chapter starts off with a banger. So in the first chapter, the wife is like talking about how, it's from the wife's point of view, obviously. And she's talking about how, you know what, let me just pause here. If you've not read the book and you do not like spoilers, just pause on this video and go read the book and come and play this video again, because I am going to be giving all the tea. And yes, please, this is the disclaimer. They are going to be spoilers. So basically, the wife is talking about how she's in her living room and her husband's family is there and they are shouting at her, why do you want to cut off your husband's manhood? The way I had to pause, because I was like, Kilele, what is going on? I was so shocked because I was like, that is a weird way to start a book. I think I remember telling my roommates that I was just like, that's such a weird way to start a book, because who starts off with that? And basically, she now goes back to talk about, like, I love the fact that this book gave a lot of backstory, so you were not confused in any way. So it goes, like, she now goes back to talk about how she first met her husband, how they're not well off, and how she's trying to survive, and they have a daughter, basically. And basically, this rich man starts coming because she sells corn, and people loved her corn, and that's how she was making a living. And you can't blame the woman. She's trying to make an honest living with a husband that, in my opinion, is a very useless man. But then she meets this rich man and he loves her corn and he's steadily buying it. And eventually he offers her money to kind of be with him, because in his head, they can't be married, but he's falling in love with her and he doesn't want to lose it. So at first she insults him. Like, she goes off because she has her dignity. She goes back to tell her foolish husband, and he screams. And so one statement that he said that stood out to me was when he was like, "You're mine, remember that." And I was like, wow, interesting. So eventually he now comes, like, after, because I think he offered her a lot of money for this, like a good, like, he was going to open a shop for her. Because he asked her what her dream was, like, what was her dream. He offers her a lot of money to do this, and then the husband, you know, after shouting and acting like he didn't want her to do it, eventually tells her to go ahead with it. And tell me, like, he even told her, like, think about your daughter, think about, like, guilt tripping her, and she does it. And now he uses that as an excuse to show his true colors, because to me, that's what it was. He just started sleeping with anything and everything that had a leg. And that was, he wouldn't want to touch her, he made her feel disgusted, like, the whole thing I felt so bad for this poor woman. Like, I felt so bad for her, because I was like, Jesus. Don't trust men. Don't trust men. And then it was like, I was just like, wow, that's so sad. So now he has called the family, because at night she was so pissed. She carried a knife and she was like, I will cut off your stuff. I will cut stuff. I will snip it off if you can't stop sleeping around. So he calls his family to intercede. He doesn't call hers, which was something she mentioned in the book. She was like, it's ironic how he called only his family and not mine. Her parents, sorry, I'm so sorry this is everywhere, but her parents were so against her getting married to this man. Which is, I think, something I've learned growing up. Our parents say a lot of things before we do. And I think I've learned to listen to the words of the wise. So, cut the long story short, she just busts out and tells them everything. The watch he's wearing that he's even using to do guy is the money that man gave us. I used to buy it. And now he's like treating me like this, and everybody's just staring at the son like, what did she just say? You told me what to do what? And that's where that chapter ended. To be honest, that particular chapter, I really wanted to know how it ended. I wanted to know the result, but it was beautiful. I think the next one that stuck out to me was the pastor and his wife. So basically, she was a pastor's child. She grew up in a Christian home, and she was kind of the rebel. Like, she was just, the wild child. But she didn't do any crazy things, but like, she was quite a wild child. So she meets this boy, and he's super quiet, super shy, and she's obsessed with him. Like, she is really like head over heels in love with this boy. Obviously, as a pastor's daughter, she has to comport herself with like, dignity, carry herself a certain type of way, and just stuff like that. So, cut the long story short, his first kiss was with her. I can't remember if her first kiss was with him, but it was in her house. So like, she was really a rascal. She was just a crazy kid. And so that's like, cut the long story short, they get married. And she helps him, like, at first he had a job, she had a job, everything. Eventually, she tells him that God is telling her that he has to go into ministry. And he was like, he's so happy that she also got the same conviction, because he didn't know how to tell her. So both of them are getting the same conviction for God. That's so good, right? Yeah. So she's now turning to pastor's wife, and she carries that role with her chest. She takes on that role with her entire existence. Because, let me tell you, like, it was like when you build what's that word? When you build a company, but like, yeah, this church was like company. They had kids though, but this was like their company. And she took this role so seriously. Like, let's say she loved being a pastor's wife, but like, she was very serious about it, carried herself like such. Now, all of a sudden, a scandal comes out that her husband was caught with a woman of the night. So the things say, a woman of the night. So she's like, it's a lie. She goes on her Facebook, her and her PR team, trying to curb all these things. And she asks her husband, like, to his face. She asks her husband, did you sleep with this girl? Old men do is lie. And he says, no, baby, I did not sleep. I would not ruin our family like this, da, da, da. You have to believe me. And she believes him. she now, like, they're trying to curb this thing, and this woman of the night is making big buck from this man's misery, and she's selling a book, everything. And in every step, and the more serious this became, she would ask her husband, "Sweetheart, did you do this with this woman?" And he would say no. So she stopped asking. So how God will have it, the woman releases the book. And in this book, it's a detailed explanation of what went down. And she just goes, "My husband's a liar." Because apparently she has caught him, because like the woman of the night was explaining what he said. And she said she found it very weird. It was exorcist-like. It was just like he was worshipping her. And the wife was like, when she read this, she was like, she knew that he'd been lying to her because she'd caught him before, and those are the exact things that he was saying to the other person. That's how she knew that her husband did indeed sleep with this woman. And I was just feeling so bad for this poor lady. Like, everything they had built together just gone down the drain. It was so saddening. I think another one that really stood out to me was a woman that she'd been with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was good for nothing from the beginning. Like, from the get-go, very good for nothing human being. Her mother owned a shop, or they were growing up, and she went to school. Like, she caught him cheating on her severally. Like, if he was a senior, that type of vibe. So fast forward, after a while they got married, and you'd be wondering, why would she get married to such a low life like this? And I think what was the biggest red flag aside his cheating was the fact that she always had to pay for everything. And I feel that's such a red flag to me, because why? I get a woman, like, I don't even know if I want to get to that, but I get women treating their partners, that's cool, but I don't feel as a woman you should be paying for everything. Every single thing, every single date, every single dinner, if you're the one paying. It's not possible. It's not possible. They get married because apparently he has changed, and he's a changed man. He's not cheating on her again, and she's happy. He's loving her the way she should have been loved from the beginning. Now this man is giving him money to start up businesses which will eventually fail, and she would still give him money again. And I was surprised how she did not get tired of giving him money and it fail. I think she was just so like so eventually she's pregnant and everything's going well. They have this new driver, they have a maid, they live good. She's making good money for herself, like very good money, cool cash. And this man, good for nothing man, she's pregnant, she wakes up in the middle of the night because her water breaks, looks to her bedside, where is my husband? He's not on the bed. So she's like, well, that's quite strange. So she's already packed, she just goes down to call him because apparently she felt he'd be downstairs. Yes, he was indeed downstairs, but he was having sex with their house help on their dining table. Oh Lord. When I say this book was definition, like reading this book, each chapter made me agree with the title, because truly the men in Lagos are mad. Because this book was actually based in Lagos. And I was like, you don't even have respect for me. Like, you really don't. You don't. Like, I was like, no, you really don't have respect for this woman. So tells him, pick your things, let's go. My water broke, we're going to the hospital. She doesn't even say anything. And then they get into the car and he's like, babe, I'm so sorry. I don't know what got over me. Me. I fired her. And she didn't say anything. She just says, I changed the dining tables. Because what else is a woman meant to say at that moment? She gives birth to her baby. They were meant to name their child after his mother, but after that scene, she called her Grace after her mother, and he was going to argue with her, and she looks at him like that kind, if you open that your dirty mouth. So after she had the C-section, because she had a C-section, she told the doctors to tie her tubes, because she was just like, I'm not giving birth to any more children for this man. You go, girl. So as time goes by, her and the driver start to have a relationship, and he's such a lovely man, and he's very good looking, you know, and he starts kicking it off. Eventually she gives him money to start up his own business, and that business just flourishes, and he's so good with her child, and she just divorces her husband to go and be with him. Now this stupid husband, when he finds out, gets pissed, and he's screaming, how dare you, I'll take you to court, blah 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 blah. And she was like, with which money? It was giving boss ass vibe, because she was just like, with which money? I gave you everything you have. And she was like, I will take it away in a heartbeat if you try any nonsense. I said, you go, girl, you tell him. Sorry, I had to do my eyeshadow off camera because I was not concentrating. So for my last video, if you guys remember this palette, this has become like my go-to blush palette, and I always use these 3 colors if I want like a subtle pink. So basically, yeah, where did I even stop? So yeah, I was so happy when she moved on with the driver, because I was like, he deserved better than what this stupid man was giving him. Which other, okay, I think the only one that I even like was even sympathizing with the guy was the one about this musician that fell in love with the doctor. So the guy is a musician, the girl's a doctor. So in love with him, and she just wanted their relationship to move forward and everything. And he grew up in a very toxic household. His father was just a deadbeat dad, and he was just so scared of commitment, which I felt was so sad, because I think in that particular chapter it takes you into like his life, and I felt that maybe that's why I resonated more with him, because you could see the suffering, and you could see that he really was in love with this girl, but just couldn't give her what she wanted, and she left with her kids, because you can't because of that expect her to stay in something that does not serve her. And she grew up in a very happy home. Like she grew up in a very happy home. Like she grew up where her parents were all lovey-dovey. Even like till nowadays, when he would go there, he was like, he didn't go there because it just hurt so much to see that people grew up in, you know, functional families. And he grew up in such a he grew up in such a toxic environment. So I think that was just hard for him. So that particular one was the only one I felt like I felt bad for, and that was so sad because he wanted that type of family, but he just felt he couldn't have it. And I just feel like it showed the dynamics between like two people coming together but from different backgrounds. So they have two different ideas on what love is and marriage is, and you know, that type of stuff. And it was so sad because she gave him chance after chance after chance, and then she was just done giving him chances. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I found it quite challenging talking and doing my makeup. I don't know how all those girlies do it. You are doing get ready with me and you are talking. I don't know how to do that, but then we'll learn. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't read the book, I will highly recommend you read the book. I think I've been raving about it to my mom, to my aunt, to my sister. I've been telling everybody to read that book because it's such a lovely book. And I think that's the first book I read by a Nigerian author, and I'm obsessed with it. So I really think you guys should try it out. She's such a great writer, by the way. Like the book is well written. Like, it's just a masterpiece. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.